We would like to respectfully acknowledge that the land on which we're gathered for this great game is Treaty 6 territory, home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. These lands are traditional meeting grounds, gathering places, and travel routes for many nations, including the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Métis, Saulteaux, and Nakota Sioux. We're grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who came before us. In collaboration with the Western Canadian Baseball League, the Sylvan Lake Gulls are proud to welcome you to Gulls Field at Pocattle Park in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. Welcome to tonight's road game at home featuring the home team, the Welcome to Sylvan Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls!
Mother Nature is saying sorry and treating us to what is looking to be a beautiful evening for baseball here in central Alberta after the Sylvan Lake Gulls had their game canceled on them last night. So we go back to 2 nights ago, the last time the Gulls were in action, and that was a big 8-1 win against the Energy City Cactus Rats. The first full, complete game we have seen from the Sylvan Lake Gulls this season. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into FloCollege, brought to you by visitsylvanlake.ca. You're watching the Gulls broadcast. I'm Cale Clark. This is my broadcast partner, Jim Claggett, as we tee this one up for you. And it's the Brooks Bombers making their first visit to Gulls Field here tonight. I think coming off a big 8-1 victory, full effort from everybody, the Gulls are probably going to be rolling in with a little bit more confidence. Oh, you might want to turn your mic on, Jim. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
You know, don't tell my wife that you can actually keep me quiet, okay? That's as simple as that.
It's all right.
Anyways, as I was saying to myself in my head, it's amazing what a win can do for a team's mental health, I guess, and stability, whatnot. These guys have been close, and that night, I want to say last night, but I won't say last night because we didn't do anything, obviously.
Yeah.
But that night, that 8-1 win was, as you mentioned, complete. They had everything. They had defense. They had stolen bases. They had home runs. They had pitching from 2 pitchers. They had the defensive plays. They didn't make any errors. And to me, that's probably the biggest stat, is they don't give the other team something extra, which they didn't deserve, kind of thing. And you can't do this in this league because teams will take advantage of that. And we'll see what Brooks has to deliver tonight. They're the home team tonight.
Yeah,
too.
Brooks Bombers are the home team tonight. And, you know, we've talked about how in this league this year, we've seen a lot of depth throughout the teams. You know, there's really not a weak team. Yes, the Brooks Bombers are near the bottom of the standings, but we've seen it time and time again where the Sylvan Lake Gulls, they can't take that into account. They can't take advantage of thinking, oh, you know what, they're at the bottom of the league, we should be able to get a win here. The Brooks Bombers have been able to beat the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and on any given night in this league, any team can beat anybody. So that's, I think, for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, they got to take that into consideration as well heading into tonight. It's just, we can't take these guys easy.
No, and you're a fool if you do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, you're right. Teams, Weyburn, Brooks, but when you go in there, they want to win just as bad as any other team does. So you got to give your best effort no matter who your opponent is on the other side of the diamond.
Only 3 returning players for the Brooks Bombers this year, that to my count, and Julian Picorni, Peyton Matthews, and Maddox Shaver. All guys that should be playing in the lineup here tonight, other than Picorni. Maybe Picorni comes in later on in the game, but he won't be starting. That also may be a little bit of a surprise, as we've seen most teams bring a good chunk of guys back, but Brooks be one of the teams that have a new look this year.
And that's fun for not only for the for us as broadcasters, seeing new faces, but for the fans, obviously, they get to see new faces, because I'm sure they remember guys from the other teams, and they go, oh, yeah, I remember that guy, I remember that guy. So there you go. We'll see what happens with this lineup. New faces, a couple of, I see a Red Deer name there, Louis Gallardo.
Yeah, a
from
couple.
Red Deer, University of Michigan at Dearborn.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah,
so
it's great to see, and a couple Red Deer guys. So, and Heath Hitchkowski, also another Red Deer kid on this Brooks Bombers team. He's a pitcher. So it's kind of cool because, like you said, their fans are probably excited to see this, but not only that, but there's probably going to be a lot of Red Deer fans cheering for the Brooks Bombers tonight, just because a couple hometown kids in the blue and white tonight. Brooks Bombers, we did mention, they are the home team. The Sylvan Lake Gulls, the visiting team. The Gulls, and we learned a lot about the Gulls last night with the players, the personalities. We got to see a lot of fun stuff. One guy that will be joining us here in the broadcast booth, you'll get to watch him, fans, from the comfort of your own home. He is just a breath of fresh air, isn't he?
He's a personality, that's for sure. He's got that effervescence, if I want to use that word.
Exactly. So and then we saw Snow Angels last night. We saw snowmen in that hailstorm. So
snowball.
And then just a completely different night tonight. We go into tonight's game, and the sun is shining, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful night for baseball. So we'll hand things off to our public. We're not going to hand things off. We got our own things to watch about. But as you can see on your screen there, that's last night's pictures and the sights from last night, and people writing in the field. There's the snowman, the Energy City Cactus Rats having lots of fun with it. So that's a lot of fun. But we're gonna have some fun on the diamond here tonight as we take a look at your starting pitcher for the Brooks Bombers, and it'll be number 16, Hudson Grow. Hudson Grow is getting his third start. Yeah, he's from California. Third start. He's had 10 innings of work. He's got 9 strikeouts, a 3.60 ERA, and he's also going to the College of Sequoias.
Big, huge trees.
Okay, well there you go.
Giant sequoias.
Don't know every day.
And here's the Gulls batting order. And familiar face at the top of that order, Noah Coins, and then we worked a couple of guys back to back, number 4 and 5. They're Brock Tiarena and Cam McLeod with solo home runs the other night. And then Brooks Bachman over at third base tonight.
Yep.
Rowan O'Connor over at second base tonight. Those are usually second and shortstop.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens with this lineup. That's interesting. They're going to shuffle the deck.
Shuffling things up a little bit, and I like it. Just kind of still, like I said, it's early in the season, so it's that time of year where you're still trying to find out, okay, who's going to play where. The only guy that we have seen that's had consistent position so far is Noah Connings out in center field.
Yeah.
And then you maybe also have Simon Baker, usually in right field. He's getting the night off tonight as well.
That's right. And I talked to him last night too, and asked him about, did I see you in the wrap up, the box score with your pitch 2 innings? He goes, yeah. He wants to pitch.
Okay.
Well, that'll be interesting because he's got a strong arm. And the first pitch from Hudson Grow is maybe a little inside because it hits Noah Connings, and he will take the hit by pitch and make his way down to first base. And just like that, the visiting Sylvan Lake Gulls have a base runner, and that'll bring up Bryce Hampton, the shortstop, who did a really good job playing shortstop in that 8-1 win. He made some outstanding plays over there and showed off his arm. So We don't lose much having Rowan O'Connor over in a different position and Bryce Hampton coming back in and playing shortstop. Well, that was a pitch, 87 miles per hour, ball one. We are just underway. And a throw down to first by the catcher, Kai Hopful. 1-1 the count on the Gulls shortstop tonight, and the number 2 hitter, Bryce Hampton.
One thing to take note of tonight, too, ladies and gentlemen, watching back at home, is the head coach is back for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Jason Chatwood down in the dugout, and he is joining his team for the first time since back in Oyen when he took a line drive foul ball.
And it hurt him.
And he had to get surgery due to it. So it's great to see he's back, and that's always what you want to see, is having your head coach and GM back.
Absolutely. It's although you might say, wait a minute, you guys put on a really good display when I wasn't here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I don't believe in that kind of stuff. He's in the dugout, but Matt Hape and Wyatt McKnight are running the game tonight, as they did the other night. So.
Yep.
So that's foul back. 1-2 the count on Bryce Hampton.
So we take a look at the defense tonight for the Bombers. You got Christian Altamirano out in left field, Peyton Matthews at center, Ben Fischel in right, then Seth Recker over at third, J.R. Bedford shortstop, Derry Steert Couture at second, and Wyatt Ormond at first base. And the crouching balls and strikes is Kai Hopful behind the plate.
And there's the first out, a strikeout for Hudson Groh. And this will bring up, we got back-to-back Bryces here. We got Bryce Hampton just struck out. Bryce Turner, who's playing first base tonight. He steps in to face the Bombers pitcher, Groh. That misses inside for ball one. Matt Payne is the home plate umpire tonight. The crew chief is Rob Allen. He's over at first base, and down the third base line will be Jeff Wang.
Bryce Turner obviously really turning it up with the bat. Just a few games ago, back on Wednesday night, had a solo homer. He had a great night of work, 3 for 6 at the plate. Then on Thursday night, went 1 for 4 with an RBI. So he's starting to settle in here in a Gulls uniform.
And as we've said, as a team,
They're
starting to find their way. And
yeah,
we saw them in the dressing room and how the camaraderie. It doesn't take long. It's on the field where they have to gel, and they're starting to get that, I think.
Yep.
1-2 the count on Turner. Runner over at first is Noah Connings, who was hit by a pitch on the first pitch of the game. And the count now even at 2-2. Brock Tiarina is the batter on deck. He said his home run last night, he said, I didn't even feel it on the bat. I don't know that feeling.
Yeah.
This is into foul territory, and first baseman Wyatt Ormond slides over, makes the catch, and that's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Tiarina with, as I mentioned, Noah Connings still over at first base.
So yeah, so far the Brooks Bombers are doing a good job after, giving up the first pitch, hitting a batter, putting them on base. They have shut the door since then.
That's a called strike, and Tiarina looks at the umpire. Wait, what? Hello. Matt Payne just said, that's what I called. Oh, 0-1 the count on the Gulls left fielder tonight. That misses to even the count at 1-1. Tiarina from Andrews, Texas, goes to Lubbock Christian University. There's a few Texans on the team.
There are this year,
yeah. Our guest tonight is from Snyder, Texas.
From Texas as well, absolutely.
Yeah. A little speck, he said. What did he say, 90 people?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a bigger community, but he's on a ranch.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rancher. 6 players on the roster from Texas.
Okay.
So that's pretty. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount.
That is. 2-2. They probably really enjoyed last night's weather.
Yeah. Well, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell which guys are from warmer climates.
Yeah.
Because they're usually the ones that are the most dressed up in these kind of conditions.
And, throw down to second,
Oh, wow.
and a good throw by Kai Hoffel as he catches Noah Cunnings on the steal. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We are through the top half of the first inning. The Bombers coming to bat. And we are back for the top of the third inning. The Gulls will send the catcher, Trip Ray, the second baseman, Rowan O'Connor, and the center fielder, top of the order, Noah Conings, here against Hudson Grove. And he's been pretty good, too. So a little bit of a pitcher's duel so far, and I like it.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
You know, it's been really fun to watch Hudson Grove pitch. I mean, like I said, he's got 3 strikeouts and not a lot of things to hit, but there's a hit right there
the big
for number 13.
Yeah, Trip Ray, the big man, not a triskaidekaphobia type of guy. Because he was all pumped up about playing on Friday the 13th. And now he wears number 13. And that was a well-hit ball, and the big man can move.
Yeah. He had to take a little stutter step rounding first. He had to make sure he was going to touch the bag there because I think he kind of just almost missed it. He almost ran right by it. So
I thought for sure the first baseman was going to call for a check there, just in case, because usually that's their job. If they figure if the ball's going for a double, they watch and see he touches first. So it's amazing how you miss it and then you hope nobody saw it, I guess, because if you stop, then you take a base 90 feet away from yourself. But
by the time you realize, you're kind of already no man's land. That's another good base hit there by Rowan O'Connor.
And they're going to hold the catcher.
Good throw from right field.
Yeah.
Wow. Beneficial with an arm on display.
So Rowan O'Connor with a base hit. So 2 for 2 on the at-bats right now. And that'll flip the lineup here. We're back at the top of the order with Noah Conings, who got hit by a pitch, the first pitch he saw back in the top of the first inning, and then was erased on a nice throw by the catcher, Kai Hopfel, to get him over at second.
Conings hitting .283 so far this summer.
And he sends this into the gap, and that's going to score 1, and Rowan O'Connor is going to make his way to third. And the Gulls have come to life here in the top half of the third inning, with Noah Conings with an RBI single as he scores Trip Ray from third.
Yeah, that's Conings' 7th RBI on the season so far, and just not a well-hit ball by any means, but it was placed perfectly. It was a bouncer that found the gap between the 4-3 positions, and it got out to the outfield.
The seeing eye single.
Yep.
That'll bring up Bryce Hampton, who struck out his last at bat against Grow, and that misses outside for ball 1. You know, if I remember last year, a few games, one of the problems that the Brooks Bombers had was their pitching. They just couldn't get guys to go 4 or 5 innings, and they would go 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden the wheels would come off, and that was pretty much the end of the story for them. But you get the start so far by Hudson Grove. Mind you, the Gulls have touched him up with 3 hits in a row here now in the top half of the third inning. And I think and we have to talk to some of the batters about this, but I think they share their information with their teammates. They come back and say, "Yeah, this is what he's got. This is what it looks like." Blah blah blah. And if the pitcher doesn't change things up a little bit, these guys lock in on that and they take advantage of it. They're that good hitters.
Sometimes all it takes is a couple innings just to kind of learn what this pitcher's doing. And if he's, like you said, if he's doing the exact same stuff and he's not changing it up much, it's going to be easy to figure out pretty quickly.
2-2 the count on Hampton. Runners on the corners. And Hampton sends this over to third base, and he might beat that out. He does too.
Just nice RBI too.
And an RBI for his hard work there, as Rowan O'Connor scores from third base, and the Gulls are out to a 2-0 lead here with nobody out here in the top half of the third inning. And that'll prompt a little visit from the pitching coach.
Rightfully so, after giving up 4 straight hits.
Yeah. Something's wrong. You better go talk to your pitcher, right?
And I mean, that's a tough play too for Seth Recker over at third to make that throw in time. I mean, it was just another, not the greatest hit ball, but it was enough to just not get there quick enough for him to get a glove on it and get the throw in time.
And that's where they're talking. Well, the infielders are talking about that, as both the catcher Kai Hopfel and the second baseman Derry Steyert Couture both gave him a little tap and said, "Hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You got your glove on it, and you tried your best." It was one of those hits, no man's land.
Yep. Just a dribbler, a soft dribbler.
Yeah, but he's going to tell, I ripped it for the RBI. They didn't have a chance.
We'll have to ask him after the game now.
Yeah.
What are you telling the family back home that maybe didn't watch the broadcast, that your RBI was at a hard hit ball?
Yeah. So, yeah. The other Bryce now. Bryce Turner steps in with runners on first and second. 2 runs across the plate so far for the Gulls, and nobody out. 41 pitches for Groh right now, and this is hard hit down to third. And they could turn 2, and they do. So a good job there this time by Seth Recker, as he got his glove on that and fired a strike over to second. And they do erase the threat there, but there's still now a base runner over at third in Noah Connings.
I mean, that was impressive. Not going to lie, not only from Recker, but just after seeing him bobble it originally, you wondered, okay, is he going to have enough time to make it, still get it to second in time? He did, and then they still had just enough time to get over first for the double play. So Recker, not only did he get his glove on it, he bobbled it and still recovered in time to turn a double play. That was a heck of a play by him.
And Steyert Couture made a good turn on that
Absolutely,
as well.
Yeah. I mean, he had to make the quickest turn possible to even have hope for that being a double play.
0-1 the count on Tiarina. He got caught looking the last time up, and he's down 0-2 right now. That misses outside. Noah Connings getting a pretty good jump over at third base there, because the third baseman Stecker is playing well off the bag, so no chance of getting thrown out by the catcher. 1-2 the count on Tiarina, and he sends this foul, keeping the bat alive.
That was a really good off-speed pitch. It came from the outside in, and it was just enough that Tiarina saw it last minute to decide to swing on it once he knew it was kind of coming into the strike zone.
And strikeout number 2 for Brock Tiarina, and that brings the inning to a close. But the Sylvan Lake Gulls with several hits, 4 hits in fact, and that adds up to 2 runs for them. They have a 2-0 lead after 2.5. The Bombers coming to bat. Welcome back. Matt McKenzie with his third inning of work here. And he starts things off with an 84-mile-an-hour pitch on Ben Fischel, the right fielder, who flew out to right field back in the first inning. 2-0 Gulls lead it here. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark here on FloCollege. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, great to have you tuning in, and stay tuned because we'll have a special guest joining us in the broadcast booth in just a few outs time. So
Yeah.
you'll want to stick around for that.
He's
Guaranteed.
He's a character.
But in a good way.
But in a good way,
In
yes.
a great way, yeah.
0-2 the count on Fischel. Wyatt Ormond is on deck, and ooh, that's high and tight at 92.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Last time at bat for Fischel, he flew out to right field where Macris got underneath of it. And again, we're going with Macris now because we were hearing some of his former teammates call Aiden Macris. So we're assuming. So if we're getting it wrong to the Macris family or Aiden's family back in Okotoks, please hit us up on Twitter. You can reach us at Cale_Clark97.
That misses inside, evens the count at 2-2 on Fischel. Yeah, we don't intentionally mess up a name. Trust me.
Yeah.
And a called third strike there. The second strikeout of the night for Matt McKenzie. And he gets the leadoff man, Ben Fischel, looking at that strike and sits him down. Wyatt Ormond, who got on after hitting a fly ball out to right field, and it kind of made a little move on Aiden Macris. Now, am I saying it wrong? Macris?
Macris, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there we go. After you just explained it, and I got to check myself. That's fouled just on the outside of the bag, down the third base line. 0-1 the count on Wyatt Ormond.
Turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball here at Gulls Field. I mean, earlier today, windy and kind of rainy and, isolated showers where you had just pockets of rain here and there, but it broke up right in time for the game, didn't it?
It did. You know what, Mother Nature, you're messing with us.
Yeah.
I know you are. Because you can.
The temperature probably could be warmer. It's definitely not warm necessarily out there, but it's not cloudy and cold, I would say. It's sunny
right.
Sunny and maybe a little more on the brisk side.
Well, Trip Ray's got the short sleeves.
Yeah.
I can't see.
A few fans that are in the short sleeves.
Matt McKenzie, yeah, the pitcher. Over at first base there. Bryce Turner's got the short sleeves.
Yeah.
Aiden Macris has got the short sleeves as well. So, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. You got to know the Canadians going to have short sleeves.
Yeah.
We just do
Sometimes we go with a short sleeve in winter time.
that. 2-2 the count. There was a guy who was a big fan of the professional Canadian Football League team in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And he, after the 1984 Grey Cup, they won the league championship. And they went into a bit of a slump. And a called strike there, back-to-back strikeouts, looking for Matthew McKenzie. So he swore, he said, I will not put long pants on until the Bombers win another Grey Cup. And it took him a long time to win the next one. And finally,
Did he live up to that?
he did.
Really?
He did.
Wow.
So let me tell you, folks, if you've never been to Winnipeg, I can tell you in the wintertime, minus 40 Celsius. And I don't care if you got a Celsius or a Fahrenheit after that. It's cold.
That's committed.
And he, maybe he didn't go out of the house at all, but
Well, I remember seeing a story, Buffalo Bills fan,
yeah.
Major snowstorm, and he decided to take his shirt off in a major snowstorm at the football game and pour beer all over himself.
Okay.
after I think it might have been after a win or just during the game. And anyway, ended up in the hospital with hypothermia.
Oh boy, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, you
So
know,
not necessarily the smartest thing.
the equipment manager for the Calgary Stampeders football team, George, he wears shorts all the time, all season long.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if he does off season, but during the games, this is grounded down to short and up and throwing. Oh, well, Bryce Hampton. That was a close play over at first, but Rob Allen calls him safe.
Well, I saw Hampton. He had to kind of grip that ball, and he took a couple extra seconds to get a really good handle on it. So I don't think he could release it as quickly as he wanted to, as he just couldn't quite grip the ball properly to make the throw, and that allowed enough time for Altamirano to get over to first safely.
And I think they gave him an error on that too.
Did they?
Well, there's two up on the board there.
I don't know. Would you give him an error on that? From that play, I don't think it was really an error.
No.
I mean, it was a good hit ball, hit ball.
I don't think
it's
I
a tough
would,
throw to make.
Yeah. But we're not the scorers, the official scorers,
Yeah,
so
fair.
we can go talk to the official
We
scorer
can,
and
they're
say,
right
what
beside us,
the
yeah."
heck are you thinking, man?
Yeah.
But he's a big man, and I think we'll just let sleeping dogs lie. So 2-0 Gulls lead it here. The Bombers trying to get something going here in the bottom half of the third inning with a base runner over at first, who doesn't get a base hit because of the error applied to Bryce Hampton. This is Liam Kirsch, the designated hitter. And Trip Ray was all ready to celebrate that called strike, and it was just a little outside, he says, so okay. 3-1 the count now on the designated hitter. Seth Ricker is on deck, the third baseman. Oh. The umpires in the crowd are weighing in on that one too. All right. So Liam Kirsch draws a walk. Home plate umpire Matt Payne getting it from the crowd.
Yeah.
So 2 down after back-to-back strikeouts by Matthew McKenzie. He finds himself in a little bit of hot water now. And he'll have to deal with the third baseman Seth Rucker, who sends this out to right field, and Macaris back, gets it, was ready to fire it in, and then, oh yeah, it's 3. Just, you got to be prepared, right? So a fly out to right field brings down the rally for the Brooks Bombers. They strand 2 base runners. Gulls with a 2-0 lead after. Well, there's a nice shot of the berm over behind the Gulls dugout, and people are enjoying the weather after the whatever that was last night. I can't think of a nice way to describe last night other than it was cool for the guys from Florida that had never seen snow. It was technically hail, but frozen rain.
I'd say that berm is probably still a little slick from all that rain that we did get in the last 24 hours, but kids are loving it. Bouncing around, rolling all over it. Can't be too wet anyways.
No. And they don't care anyways because they're kids.
Exactly.
0-2 the count here on Cam McLeod. He grounded out to third in his first at bat on the night, back in the second inning. We are into the top of the fourth inning. That's right, the top, as the Sylvan Lake Gulls are the visiting team tonight in their home park. Just one of the quirks that we have in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Sometimes teams just, something's going on at their arena or their stadium, and so 1-2 the count on McLeod. And he sends this down to third base, and that gets through the legs of Seth Recker, who's had an interesting night so far over at third base. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an error on the third baseman.
Yeah, and it will be. As that's not the first time that we've seen just a little bit of uncertainty from Recker, but at least on the other ones he recovered well. This time just couldn't unfortunately hold on and bring it in. So Bachman was the first base hitter for the Gulls in this game, and that was the last time he was at bat back in the second inning.
And he sends this right back up the middle as Brooks Bachman is 2 for 2 on the night with a couple of singles. So we got runners on first and second now with nobody out as things heat up for the Gulls here in the top of the fourth inning. And that brings up Aiden Macaris. Or Macaris. Or Macrease. Or I can find about 4 other iterations of how to say his name, and I might use all 4 of them.
There you go.
And he tries to lay down the bunt, and it just rolls foul.
Yeah, and once again, you can always reach myself on Twitter, Kael, Kael_Clark97 on X, and feel free to chime in on the conversation, direct message us. I'll be keeping my eye open on the messages as the night goes on. If you have any, insight or pronunciations, we're more than happy to learn that.
And that was well outside, although he was going to, well, at least he showed bunt. So 1-1 the count. Brooks Bachman over at first, and Cam McLeod, the base runner, at second. Oh, well, no bunt now. Or did that hit his bat?
Yeah, it hit his
I
bat,
guess it
but
did.
it was, I think the bat kind of protected it from hitting him, honestly, as we take a look at the Hearthstone Property Management replay here. And that was coming inside more than he wanted to. And yeah, that would have hit him if it didn't hit the bat. So kind of an unfortunate break in a way that the bat got in the way for him. Otherwise, he would have maybe been able to take a base.
And there's that called third strike. That's strikeout number 2 for Aiden Macaris. And the first out of the inning here. And that'll bring up the catcher, Trip Ray.
Yeah, that one, you take a look at that replay, and where it looks like from the replay that ball went right in on the other side of the line of the batter's box.
So Hudson Groh gets the benefit of that call, and I'm sure he appreciates it. And a called strike there on the catcher, Trip Ray, who had a double, a stand-up double in the third inning to lead things off in that in inning number 3. Rowan O'Connor is the batter on deck. That misses outside, even the count of 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Hudson Grow, and Trip Ray could get his second hit of the night as that gets past. A great effort there by Ben Fischel, but that's going to score 1 run. Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there. I was watching that play develop, and Trip Ray did hesitate going to second because he noticed that he was catching the other runners. And of course, he couldn't go to second because then Brooks Bachman had to hold up. Bachman wanted to go for third. He rounded second like he was going to head to third, but because Cam McLeod got held at third, he couldn't keep going. So then that created a little bit of uncertainty. So Ray, he did cautiously run the bases. He stopped there, as you see, but then he noticed, oh, McLeod's not going to third. I got to get back. And by then, it was a little too late. So an unfortunate miscommunication on the base running.
Well, this is going to score the run anyway. That should have been scored. Oh. No, it will not. As we have just a mess of my score sheet now, but Trip Ray getting put out over at first. Made it 2 out, and then that was the third out as Rowan O'Connor gets thrown out. So, what would opened as a And we are returning with more action here from Gulls Field at Pagato Park. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark here on the FloCollege broadcast for you. Thank you for tuning in. The Gulls with a 2-0 lead as we start the 5th inning here. And a foul by Noah Konings, the top of the order. He is 1 for 2 with a single the last time up in the 3rd inning. He also has an RBI tonight. And he hits this foul down the 3rd baseline.
Well, the Bombers are doing a good job of, holding the Gulls at bay. Not really giving up a whole lot. I mean, there was, a couple hits here and there that they've given up, as that's deep in the hole. And it's got to be a hard throw, but not in time, as that's high. So that had to lead off the wide Ormond off the bag to jump for it, and that allows Konings to stay safe over at first. It's a great throw, just a little high, as that was deep in the hole.
That was a tough play. It just really tied up J.R. Bedford over at short.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Still a good throw, though. I mean, he's got an arm on him.
He does. And this will bring up Bryce Hampton, who sends this down to Bedford. Bedford makes the short throw over to second, but they cannot turn the double play. And so 1 down here.
And you take a look at the slide here. It kind of takes out the second baseman in Darius Couture. But they exchanged words afterwards, and it was all good. They gave a little tap on the back, and it was clearly an apology. But
well, and the base runner has the right to slide into the base.
Yeah.
Now, if he's 5 feet away from the base and he's sliding at the guy with the ball, they might have a little discussion. I've seen that before.
Yep. Saw it with Jose Bautista.
I was just going to say that's
Angels.
exactly the one I saw.
Yeah.
And Jose kind of got one punch there.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
Oh, and that's well hit over the head of the left fielder, Alta Morano. And nope, they're going to hold him up at third. As Bryce Hampton was ready to head for home, but he was held up by third base coach Wyatt McKnight. Yes, you don't want to make that out over at third base or home for that matter. So a nice double there for Bryce Turner, and that'll bring up Brock Tiarina, who's had, he's had no luck at the plate tonight. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging.
Now, if you're going to get off the schneid tonight, this is the time to do it.
Yep.
2 runners in scoring position.
Well, we know he's got the power.
Yep, sure does.
And that was a well-hit ball by Turner.
Oh, Turner's been, he's just been really hitting the ball hard lately. And that ball didn't even take a bounce. That ended up hitting halfway up the wall and bouncing back to the left fielder and Christian Altamirano.
That catches the outside corner. 1-1 the count on Tiarino, the left fielder tonight for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
You wonder if our guest got stuck in a suite again tonight?
Yeah, little inside information. He was asked to leave the game the other night and came upstairs and didn't know what he was going to do, and they got him into one of the suites with some of the fans, and he made some friends.
He made some friends, had a good rest of the evening up there. And
he did.
We're still waiting to see him make an appearance here. Tiarina, though, gets off the schneid at a timely time. That's going to drive in a couple runs. As he's going for second, it's going to be close play. He gets there in time.
So 2 RBIs for Brock Tiarino on that as he drives in the 2 braces, Hampton and Turner, and keeps the inning going for the Gulls as they add to their lead. They are up now 4-0. And that'll bring up the designated hitter Cam McLeod, who had a solo home run last night. And not that I was shocked, or I'm sorry. I'm just so used to saying last night. So thank you for reminding me. 2 nights ago, and it wasn't that it shocked me. It wasn't that because he hit the home run. It was an opposite field, and it was not even close. And speaking of an opposite field, he shoots this one out into right field, and they're going to hold Tiarino over at third as the Gulls have found the bats again, and they now have runners on first and third with one down and a 4-0 lead. So a well-hit ball there by Cam McLeod, who was a man of few words when he was interviewed at the end of the game by our Jared Waldo. It was, yes, sir, thank you. Yeah, no, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Fine. Yep.
Yeah. Are you ready to get another win against Energy City Cactus Shots? Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. End of interview. Thank you.
End of interview. Continue.
Yeah, I got other things to do. Thanks for talking to me, right? Brooks Bachman is in now to face Hudson Grow.
Oh, all right.
That outside corner
catching.
doesn't matter either side.
No, it's
Left
getting
side
called
right.
either way.
Yeah.
Gulls have officially hit double digits now in the hit category. 11 hits on the evening as that's popped straight up.
And this will be the shortstop.
J.R. Bedford.
He just holds his glove up there and lets it fall in. So 2 down here as Bachman pops up. That's his, he's 2 for 3 now on the night after that 1 out there. And this will bring up Aiden Macaris. Or Macaris. I'm gonna keep calling them both names. One of them's gotta be right.
I would think so. watch them both not be right.
Yeah, it's
then
not
we're
even
really
close.
in trouble, yeah.
No, it's something totally different.
Macaroos. Macaroos.
It's actually pronounced Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's Bob. No,
Yeah, Bob.
that's somebody else.
And there's a squibber that is going to score a run. Not the most sexy RBI, but it's an RBI by any count. A base hit is a base hit, and Brock Tiarino scores for third on that squibber down the third base line.
They don't ask you how.
Yeah, it's just, they don't. Unless they see the broadcast and they go, oh, I saw how.
Yeah.
But he's okay with it. He's just got that little smile on his face like, oh, well, I'm on base and I got an RBI.
Wasn't pretty. He's got it, and just for a night that he hasn't had a successful night at the plate with a couple strikeouts before that, he'll gladly take that, obviously.
Yep. A little cue shot off the end of the bat.
See if Trip Ray can keep the rally going here in this inning, as he is 2 for 2 on the night.
Did they give him a base hit? Because I thought there was an error on the right fielder on that one. I guess they didn't give him an error because there's only one up there.
Yeah, no, just the one.
Yeah. Okay. But he handles the bat pretty good. He might get a few shots thrown his way about base running.
That was, I mean.
But I don't know who's at fault. We don't know.
That's the thing. There's a lot of confusion there, and it wasn't like he wasn't cognizant of what was going on with the runners in front of him. He was hesitant a couple times, but I think it was just once he finally decided to go for second baseman Cam McLeod in front of him turned back last minute. So a good person to ask would be the first base coach, and I think that's Junior Garcia over at first base. So he's a player. Now, I'm not saying players can't coach first base, but sometimes they don't watch for things. They're maybe excited with the base hit, and then I'm not putting the blame on Junior either. I'm just saying. Well, and then Wyatt McKnight, you got to
Junior's
ask Wyatt.
I'm just holding the equipment.
I'm just hanging out down here. What are you guys talking about? Well, and then Wyatt McKnight too. I mean, it's somewhat on him too to hold the runner at third instead of going home. If he went home, then everybody's running another base. But yeah, it's just a miscommunication, I think, on all fronts. Full count now, though, to Trip Ray, trying to keep the inning alive. 2-way with the 5-0 lead for the Gulls.
And everybody's going on that pitch. As we now have base runners over at second and third. and first. So that would mean, guess what? The bases are loaded.
Yeah, and that's going to be another meeting on the mound, and I would think that's the end of the night for Hudson Grow.
Yeah, I believe this is the Red Deer product. Luis Gallardo is going to step in. And we will be back as he loosens up to get ready to face Rowan O'Connor. Gulls with a 5-0 lead. We'll be back.
Okay, so at the bottom of 5 innings, we do a thing called the Snapman race. This guy had him, but then he just blew it last minute. Right before crossing the line, he knew he had Snapman. He took a peek over his shoulder, which, by the way, you never do. And as soon as he took a peek over that shoulder, he biffed it right in front of the finish line. He couldn't believe it. You could tell he was looking upwards to the sky in disbelief of what just happened. But my goodness, that was a race. I could tell Snapman, he didn't give up. Like, he was on his horse trying to catch him, and he was making ground. But I still think the fan would have had him if he just kept his head focused on the finish line.
Well, the late, great Satchel Paige always said, don't look behind you, something may be gaining on you. Well, and that's what that guy did. And that was Snapman gaining on him. So, Luis Gallardo, the Red Deer product, on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He'll start off this inning facing the top of the order. Noah Konings, Bryce Hampton, and Bryce Turner, the 1-2-3 batters for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who have a 5-0 lead over the Brooks Bombers. The Gulls, 2 runs in the third, 3 in the fifth, 12 hits, 2 errors. The Bombers, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error on the night. And taking all the way is Konings. The count now 3-1. Which is almost the score of the hockey game. 4-1 Florida leads the Edmonton Oilers.
Just 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in that third period.
Oh,
Konings.
Well hit by Noah Konings. And off the wall, the base of the wall, and he's going to have himself a stand-up double to lead things off here in the 6th inning.
That was a great hit.
I think we're seeing the real Sylvan Lake Gulls over these last 2 games now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we didn't see the real guys, but we didn't see all of them. You know what I mean? Like their whole bag of tricks kind of thing, and how they can hit the ball, and the defensive kind, and the pitching tonight. So far so good.
Absolutely.
But
I'd say the biggest difference in tonight's game, especially for the Gulls, is that when they do get in a little bit of danger, they seem to find a way to recover well and escape it without giving up any runs. Whereas earlier in the season, any hits that were landing in the field were being converted into runs as well.
Yeah.
And tonight they're shutting the door down. They're getting better pitching, but they're also shutting the door defensively down as well, which is huge.
I would agree 100%.
Leaving a lot of runners stranded on base tonight for the Brooks Bombers.
0-2 now, the count on Bryce Hampton. Well, let's just see how many guys they've left on base. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 runners left on base by the Brooks Bombers tonight.
And that's a lot. And if you're the Bombers, you don't like that stat against you.
Yeah, and
that was the Gulls.
7 by the Gulls.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
it could be a higher score, so you got to look at the positive, I guess, if you're Brooks. Say,
No, very fair, yeah.
Although they don't, you're right. They don't like that stat.
No.
And a called third strike as Bryce Hampton gave home plate umpire Matt Payne his "Are you kidding me?" look, without saying "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, it's a tough one, for sure.
So Luis Gallardo gets the benefit of the call and gets the strikeout.
Well, and if you remember the Sylvan Lake Gulls a couple years ago, that was one of their biggest problems, was leaving guys stranded on base, right?
Yeah.
So they know what that's like, obviously. And they have a little, like you said, they have 7 tonight.
And this is a little floater, as our former catcher Hank Dodson would say. That was the old duck fart down to center field.
He's going.
He's going to go. He's going to go. He's going to go. And heads up there by Noah Konings. Now, I'm not sure if Wyatt McKnight sent him or he went there on his own.
No, he didn't send him, but so originally on the play, Wyatt McKnight was waving the arm saying, all right, you're good to go. But then he saw the throw come in, and then he put up the arms. So Konings instantly backed off, and then once he backed off, then he said, okay, now I'm going. And McKnight just let him go. So that's going to be tiring on Konings. I mean, a stop, go kind of play where you're not sure what you're doing, and then finally you turn on the jets for that last 90-foot sprint.
A delayed RBI there for Bryce Turner. And that puts the Gulls up 6-0 now.
Now, would that be did they give him an error on that play?
Well, maybe on the
see.
throw. Yeah, there's a second error. So maybe that's not an
that might have
RBI.
been an error. I don't know if that would have, yeah.
So that's not an RBI for Bryce Turner. Because he came home on the throw.
Yeah.
The overthrow.
Yeah, missed throw there.
The importance of hitting the cutoff man, as one of my coaches always used to tell us. There's a reason. Yeah, you want to throw the guy out at home plate. That's a sexy play, but guess what? You need to get into the relay guy and let him make the throw. At least that's back in the day when I played. Me and Abner Doubleday. 2-0 the count on Brock Tiarina, who had a base hit and a couple of RBIs. And he's going to get himself another base hit and another RBI possibly. Yep. As the Gulls just keep the merry-go-round going with Tiarina hitting his third RBI on the night.
And it's kind of one of those nights for Tiarina where he had a very slow start to this game with the bats. He had 2 strikeouts in a row, and then back in the 5th inning, he got that 2 RBI double, and then he gets another RBI, and it's like, okay, all of a sudden you woke the beast up a little bit.
Yeah, he's facing a different pitcher right now, too.
Well, that too, yeah.
Actually, the last 2 at-bats, he's faced a different pitcher, hasn't he?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Because Luis Gallardo came in the 5th inning.
So he couldn't hit Hudson Grove, but he could hit Luis Gallardo, and that'll be the end of the night for Gallardo. As we take a quick break, we'll let the new pitcher come in, throw some balls, and we'll be back to finish the top half.
New pitcher in the game for the Brooks Bombers. This is number 23, Aiden Maxwell, a product of Brooks, Alberta. He comes in trailing 7-0 and with a base runner over at second in Brock Tiarina. And Cam McLeod will face him as the first batter, and the first pitch is inside for a strike.
Little sidearm action from this pitcher, and Maxwell, as he's from Brooks, Alberta, the hometown kid, goes to Okanagan College.
And he hits him between the 1 and the 5. And that puts 2 runners on the bases for the Gulls, and that will bring up the third baseman tonight, Brooks Bachman.
Here's the third baseman, number 2, Brooks Bachman.
Seven nothing. Sylvan Lake Gulls over the Brooks Bombers tonight here. The Gulls, the visiting team, as Brooks is the home team tonight, due to circumstances beyond their control, I think, and way beyond our knowledge. It's way above our pay grade. Oh, and our producer Calvin Bellows just said the U11 baseball tournament.
Okay, well that makes sense then.
Okay. Thank you, sir. He's just a wealth of knowledge, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's got his hands on everything. Not only on the buttons and our microphones and everything like that, but on the technology and on everything.
He's like Big Brother.
Yeah. He's got the internet right
He's
there.
watching everybody.
Yeah, he's got the knowledge, that guy.
Scares me.
But they will play in Brooks tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock start. And it sounds like that should be a pretty good game.
Well, you know, and as hard as the Gulls have been hitting the ball, and this is not a knock against the field in Brooks, but we know the dimensions are
A lot smaller.
a lot smaller than they are here. And the way these guys hit the ball, for some of them, this will be the first time they see that stadium.
That's true, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Saskatoon, Saskatoon really took advantage of that small field last night.
Now, I got to ask Calvin. They were amazed. He said he was talking to some of the guys and said they were amazed at the stadium. Our stadium or the Brooks Stadium, Calvin? Okay, our stadium, okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Well, they might be amazed when they see the Brooks Stadium, too. They might go, wait a minute. But no knock against Brooks.
No.
It's their stadium,
Yep.
and they play it the way they want to play it, and that's their home park. And so, you know, you do what you do.
A lot of history at good old Elks Field.
Is that what it's called?
Elks Field, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, a walk given up there by the new pitcher, Aiden Maxwell, to load the bases, as that will bring up the right fielder,
Number 24,
Aiden Macaris.
You got her.
Okay,
You got her.
I'm waiting for the correction.
There you go. No, you got her.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, you got her. But,
The words come out of my mouth, and I think, did I say that right?
we were talking about how Brock Tiarina had a slow start to tonight. So did Aiden Macaris. And then he got an RBI single back at the 5th inning. So
It wasn't a pretty one.
could this be, it wasn't pretty, but could this maybe be a sign? Potentially? Bases loaded?
Oh,
Now that you've woken the beast, can this beast show something?
You're trying to lead into something. I see what you're doing there.
You never
Well,
know.
you know what? He keeps throwing inside. I think that's exactly where Aiden likes the ball.
Yeah, he could turn on it.
Well, my truck's parked over there, Aiden. Don't be hitting it too far if you do happen to get on one. And that's the pitch that catches Aiden all the time,
Yeah,
I think.
the
It's that
outside.
outside pitch, and he just, I don't know, maybe he doesn't see it. I'm not sure. I'm going to ask him one day, at the risk of having my neck snapped. You don't talk to me like that. Don't ask me that question. Because that's a sensitive spot for some guys, you know.
Yeah. And they're going outside again with that one, but that one misses. 3-1 now, so
Yeah.
Macaris may be in the driver's seat right now. By the way, 4-2 Florida leads it now to Edmonton. They pulled the goal. They did get a goal, and there's only a minute 39 left.
Okay.
So it's coming right down to the wire in that Withers Florida Panthers game. Panthers looking to take
Oh.
that catch in the corner. Panthers looking to take that 3-2 series lead back home for a chance to win it in front of the home crowd.
To Sunrise, Florida.
Yeah,
The sun might set on the Oilers down there. I
it
don't
might
know.
if they can't pull a comeback here late in this game. You never know.
Full count on Aiden Macaris. Bases loaded, one down. And the off speed, 67 miles per hour. Gets the third strikeout of the night for Aiden Macaris. The second out on the inning. And that'll bring up the catcher, Trip Ray, who has to take all his equipment off now and come back. As You saw the replay there, and a good pitch there by Aiden Maxwell. So between the battle of the Aidens, Maxwell got it. Oh, AM too. Hey, they're both AM. Look at that. Feng shui in baseball.
Memphis, Tennessee kid.
Yeah. I asked him if Tripp was short for anything. He said nope. Okay.
Unique name.
It is.
I like it.
Maybe he was named after somebody.
Yeah, maybe. Or the doctor tripped on his way into the emergency room.
Okay.
Good one, Kale.
Okay.
Oh boy, that was bad.
Or maybe it was a long trip from the hospital to home.
Oh. Nice.
Did they trip you up on that?
Yeah, you hit one out of the park there.
Okay. 0-2 the count on the man from Memphis.
Long trip. Oh boy. We apologize to the Tripp family.
I know. It's just
That's so bad.
So we get so distracted. Ooh, shiny penny. Yeah. And there's that really slow looping curveball that Aiden Maxwell likes to throw that we've seen so far. I've seen it like 4 times now since he come in for Luis Gallardo. 1-2 now on the Gulls catcher with the bases loaded, 2 down. 7-0 Gulls lead it here in the top half of the 6th inning over the Brooks Bombers. And he just has these guys. You know, I've seen this before where guys throwing 85, 90, and then a guy comes in and throws 60, 70, and it just takes an adjustment. So, anyways, the inning's over. 2 more runs for the Gulls, though. 7-0 lead. Bombers coming to bat.
Well, we are here at the top half of the 7th inning. The Sylvan Lake Gulls lead the Brooks Bombers 7-0, out-hitting the Bombers 15-4. Both teams with a couple errors on the night, and a little bit of a surprise in the broadcast booth now. Our guest finally showed up. I think he got a little distracted for a bit, but hey, we found him. He's here, and we're excited to introduce him into the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new pitcher from Snyder, Texas, goes to Texas Southern University, number 34, Leroy Taveras. Leroy, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. I thought maybe we'd have to send out the search party for you.
Oh man, I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all
That's
good.
okay.
We weren't sure if something maybe came up and maybe you weren't allowed to come and join us in the broadcast booth. So it's all good. We're happy that you're here and that you could come join us the last few innings. What's your thoughts been with Sylvan Lake since you've joined?
Man, I love it. It's a great place to be. It's a great environment. They treat us like royalty out here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's a great place to be at. I mean, coaches are really good. I mean, what I love about it the most is that they just keep everything very professional.
Yeah.
Our coaches are very professional. They give us a schedule and on time a week before in advance, and just tell us when we're throwing, what we're doing, and like after you throw, we have a post recovery treatment. It just everything about Sylvan is pretty good.
So I'm going to ask you this question as soon as we see this pitch from Aiden Maxwell here. Rowan O'Connor leads things off here in the top half of the 7th inning, and he sends this down to third base. Seth Recker up with it across the diamond, and he gets the first out. So you talked about the recovery. Now, one of the advantages that the Sylvan Lake Gulls have, I think, in the WCBL is the man who is the trainer, and that's Rob Manka.
Yes.
What are your impressions of the trainer, Rob Manka? We call him Magic Hands.
Man, he's a great guy. He's a great guy to talk to. I mean, when I'm around him, I'm not shy at all. I go up there and I tell him exactly what's wrong with me. He's just like, okay. Like one day I was having a knee problem, and he was like, but I think it's coming from my hips. And he was like, well, luckily I specialize in the hip section. So he worked on my hips. Oh.
Noah Conan sends this right back up the middle, but a nice play by the shortstop, J.R. Bradford, to get Noah Coins on that. You know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I don't think you've ever been shy.
Really?
Ever.
Really?
I got a feeling you've never been shy in your life.
I'm not gonna be. I'm not a shy person. No. I'm very blessed to not be shy. A lot of people have noticed it. I mean, luckily I got to like I talked about a couple days ago, I mean, I got to play with Savannah Bananas, and that's what they saw about me the most.
Yeah.
That I was not a shy guy. So.
That is pretty cool. I mean, that seemed to just be, the new thing, and a lot of people even up here talk about the Savannah Bananas, and they think that's such a really cool way to look at baseball. What was your take with being with Savannah Bananas? What was that like for you, and how did it change your life online, especially?
Honestly, I think it's a funner environment. It's like nothing's controlled. You're just out there playing free baseball. And I think that's what we need to play even here in Sylvan. It's like you don't want to be too take life too seriously. If you take it too seriously, you're going to get in your own head, and then it's not going to play in your favor. With Savannah Banana Baseball, I mean, it's open. Yeah. You're playing free baseball. You're having a good time. You're dancing. You're singing. But you're playing the game you love the most since you started. At the end of the day, it's just a kid's game.
Yeah, that's fair. And you're probably not gripping the bat very strongly either for the batters and everything like that. But it did some pretty big things for you with your Instagram page. Tell us about that.
Yes, so luckily during the 7th inning in Savannah Banana Ball, I got to do before the game they asked me, I was like, hey, does anybody want to do a dance? Oh, let's see if they make the play here.
Yeah, they make the play, and they bring the inning to the close, but we're not going to go anywhere because we got to see the dance that you had to perform. So we are through 7 complete here at Gulls Field, or we're almost through 7, 6.5. And the Gulls with a 7-0 lead over the Brooks Bombers. The Bombers coming to bat, but we'll continue talking with. I shut my mic off.
Well, that'll happen.
First day on the job, brand new to the game. So what did you have to do for the Savannah Bananas? No, you can hold that.
Well, I had to do a little dance. I had to hit him with a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and then I hit him with a little bit of this, and he just went, I just kept going with it. And that's what I got to do. And before the game, they asked us, like, anybody want to do it? Everyone was pretty shy about it. I was not shy indeed. No. I said, hey, I will do it. And there was like at least 15 1,000+ fans there at the game.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous. I almost forgot. Like when they put the song on, I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, that's my time to shine." Because it was the second pitch of the. There was one out, and second pitch, and then they all of a sudden just put the song on. I'm like, and my whole infield outfield moved in like to do the dance so we can all be on the camera.
Right.
And I was definitely like, oh gosh, I snapped into it. I was like, oh, and I just went right into the beat.
How do you guys, and so how do you guys know when you're supposed to do that? Do you wait for the music to cue you, or is it quite organized? Is there somebody always in your ear?
I don't like when they compare the Savannah Bats to like the Harlem Globetrotters, because they say it's scripted. Yes, it's scripted, but the game's real. The way they script it is like before the game, they know exactly what they're doing. So
all the breaks and everything.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
like if one guy hits a single, a certain guy hits a single, they know they have a dance for him. Or like if a guy hits a double, triple, home run, they know what they're doing. In every situation, they have it planned already. So that's the scripting part. But if they do a backflip and mess up, they mess up.
They mess
and
up,
they can
yeah.
lose. Like it's still a good game. Those guys are good.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they're
Man.
terrific ball players, absolutely.
Oh no, yeah, they're good.
So here we are, bottom of the 7th inning. Leroy Tavares is our guest up here in the booth, one of the new pitchers here to the Sylvan Lake Gulls from Snyder, Texas. And I'm going to get you to talk about this. Ben Bowman is taking over from Matthew McKenzie. So you're a pitcher. You watched Matthew McKenzie in those first 6 innings. What did you think of his performance and from a pitching perspective?
No, he's a very dominant guy. He has a very great routine, being around him all the time. I mean, he trains pretty hard. I mean, he came in today. He had a great mindset, man. The guy had just dominated. I mean, he wasn't scared to pitch.
No.
I mean, but it all leads before the game. The dude he's prepared mentally, physically. I mean, like I said, Matt and Chatwood, they really have a good game plan with us. Even Coach White, like, it leads up to like 3 days before. So like they get us ready before those days come, and then. And you saw today, I mean, we had a game plan, and McKenzie went out there and dominated against these Brooks Bombers.
There you go. When's your next trip to the mound?
So I will come in relief tomorrow after Nick.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, Big Vest. You and Big Vest.
Yes, me and him. It's going to be I'm not going to say too much, but it's going to be a good day tomorrow.
It's going to be a good day if you're the Sylvan Lake Gulls tomorrow.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
But like my coach once said, not going to say too much, not going to let the universe work against me, just going to go out there and be humble and just play the game.
Pitch your game, yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you all the best tomorrow. And again, we want to thank you for coming up here tonight to join us on the broadcast. As this is grounded right to Bryce Turn. He'll touch his bag and get the second out of the inning.
90-mile-an-hour fastball there off the arm of Ben Bowman, who is taken over and just hasn't missed a beat. No. This young man, we saw him last year, and we saw his growth as a pitcher. You're seeing him now. What are you seeing from Ben Bowman that you like? Yeah, you.
I'm sorry.
You can ask.
Nah, he's a good guy, man. How can I say it? He's a very guy that just kind of just sticks to himself, but like he has a mindset. He's not here. Yeah, he's here to have a good time, but he's here to play baseball.
Right.
And you can tell, like.
He means business.
He means business. He's not here to joke around. Once the game's over, then yeah, he hangs out with the fellas, you know. But when it's his time to shine, he shines. And you can tell right now, he's shining, throwing the ball really hard. And like he's coming after McKenzie. Like Big Mac did really good today.
Oh yeah.
And like he has some shoes to fill, and he's handling his job pretty good. And what I like about Sylvan is like everyone knows their role.
Okay.
So that's a big thing. Like it's hard with a lot of different teams out there. They don't know their role. It's all about they're trying to stat pad, you know, trying to just pretty selfish, you know.
Okay.
But with Sylvan, everyone has their role. They take care of business and then go on about their day.
There we go.
That's
okay,
all I like
now
about it.
we're gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you this question unless Cale has something on his mind right now. And that catches the outside corner. 3-1 the count on Ben Fischel. You're a baseball player, but you also had another sport, the rodeo. Because you're a rancher down in Snyder.
I am indeed. Yes, I am. That's funny.
And what was your sport? What was your event in rodeo?
I was a team roper.
Okay.
No, I did both. I head and heel. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed doing it. It was a great time. I don't know. I just like the horsemanship and everything that involves with with rodeo, and I mean, there's a lot. You learn a lot. I mean, you see them Cowboys. They dress pretty good.
They do.
Pretty spiffy.
Yeah, not
yeah.
bad.
They wear their nice boots and
Nice
jeans, you
boots,
know,
yeah.
button up,
Yeah.
you know, they just look good. But it teaches you. I mean, teach you a lot. We say a lot of yes sir, yes ma'am.
Yeah, well, we noticed that. We picked that up. A lot of guys from Texas. It must be something, just the matter. It must be a law down there that you have to say yes, ma'am, yes, you know.
It's just I think it's just a respect thing. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
absolutely.
better. I mean, it's if like a lot of people that don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say like not everyone says it, but we say it because
Yeah.
it kind of like puts you out of the rest of the people out in the world. People say, "Hey, what's up?" Like, hey, you," like that. That doesn't sound good, you know. Especially to your elders. You know, like if I came up to you, I wouldn't say, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like I'm gonna be like, "How you doing, sir?"
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, that's a
Are
respect thing. Absolutely.
you're saying I'm older?
I'm saying, oh well, oops,
Oh,
oops,
boy.
oh no.
Oh boy,
I'm
Jim's,
gonna-
No.
Jim's really putting you on
Oh,
the spot.
no. you got me.
No, I understand completely. I mean,
No, it's
I've been around the block a few times, so I get it.
it's an old-fashioned way of showing respect, and I
Yes,
love
I
that.
appreciate
I love that
that.
Texas carries that continually with guys like you coming up here. It has an impact. I mean,
Exactly.
Joe, anytime that you guys say that kind of stuff, I mean, Jim and myself notice it instantly. Question for you about roping. Back to the team roping. What's easier, the head or the feet?
Whew,
Yeah.
heading is way easier.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to the feet, I mean, when you're
It's
healing,
so hard.
it's just it's a timing thing.
It's timing. Yeah.
You just have to. It's when their feet are back, your rope's back, but you're on the horse, so you have to be on time with your horse.
Okay.
You're moving, and then when you throw, the feet have to be up, and then when the rope gets there, the feet are back. So it's like a trap, honestly.
This is hit well, ball in left field, and it goes off the wall. That might score the Brooks Bombers' first run of the game, and it will as the throw comes in. It's an RBI double for Wyatt Ormond.
So once again, and this is kind of a pattern that we've seen over the years for any Sylvan Lake Gulls team and any other team. You give up a walk, that walk comes around and it comes back to haunt you on the next batter, and
It's the baseball gods.
It's
a
right?
very unfortunate. I hate that because I myself am a pitcher. So, and it always happens with 2 outs. I don't know what it is. It's what's when 2 outs. The other team decides, oh, we're gonna hit now. Very unfortunate.
So, got to ask you, anybody back home watching tonight? Any shout-outs that you want to give out here on the broadcast?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think my parents are watching. I told them I wasn't pitching, but I think my roommate's family's watching, the Flores family.
Okay.
So if you're watching, big shout out to them.
Nice.
It was great people. They took care of me when I went up there to pick up their boy. So I think that's a shout out to them.
That's awesome. Well, welcome the Flores family if you're watching. Great to have you tuning in, as that is grounded to second baseman Rowan O'Connor. He'll make the throw in time. And finally, the Gulls will end this inning, but the Bombers do strike and add and break the goose egg. They go up 1, but the Gulls still with a 7-1 lead. When we come back, we'll have the top half of the 8th inning.
We are back. Aiden Maxwell still on the mound for the Brooks Bombers. 7-1, the Sylvan Lake Gulls lead here in the top half of the 8th inning. They will lead things off. Brock Tiarina, who's had himself a good night, 3 RBIs on the evening, a couple of strikeouts, but then he backed it up with a pair of doubles. Brock Tiarina, Cam McLeod, and Brooks Bachman are the scheduled batters here to face Aiden Maxwell. Still in the booth with us is Gulls pitcher Leroy Tavares. And Leroy, you played in Brooks. I know you said don't bring it up,
well,
but
you brought it up.
I got to lead into it. And so you need to make a shout out to the people who took care of you when you were there.
I'm going to nice shout out to the Winslow family, Sheldon and Reiko and their 2 boys. I mean, those are some good people out there. They treated me well, and I mean, it was very unfortunate. Yeah, I came to Sylvan. They're probably mad at me still, but it's all little lovely banter. I mean, end of the day, they were great people. They took care of me really good, and I'm always grateful for them. They took care of me well. So
this league does not survive without billet families.
Absolutely
No,
not.
it does not.
No, yeah.
And so the ones that, it doesn't matter if you're in Brooks or Saskatoon or Weyburn or wherever, but a walk here taken by Cam McLeod got hit by the pitch.
Yep.
And I got to mention, too, Ben Bowman, who's on the mound for the Gulls tonight, taking over from Matthew McKenzie. It's his billet family's anniversary.
is it
tonight?
Oh wow!
So shout out to them as well.
Yeah,
And
shout out to y'all.
thank you to all the billets, because without you guys are sleeping in the basement of the stadium.
We're sleeping somewhere for sure. Yeah, if it wasn't for them, I mean, it'd be hard for us to be here. Luckily, it put us with the right people. So
That's good. That's good. A little fly out to left field there by Cam McLeod, and that'll bring up they're going to have a pinch hitter, and we know
Okay.
this guy.
Yeah, Matty Fun coming in, as we haven't seen him getting any game action in the last little while, so that's great to see Matty Fun getting a chance to swing the bat and maybe make an impact on this ball game with 2 away facing Fun.
Now, Matty is the type of guy that kind of emulates what the Sylvan Lake Gulls. This man could run for mayor of Sylvan Lake and probably win. No offense to the current mayor, because she's really a big supporter, and she's a billet as well.
She is a billet,
She has a player. I don't know which one.
oh,
but-
Matty Funk,
He turned on that pretty good. That just going foul.
that dude's a good guy.
Yeah,
So
he
I
is.
got a question here. Now, we just had a short little debate here, but is it called a curveball now, or is it called a sweeper? Or are those 2 different pitches?
2 different pitches.
Okay.
So a sweeper.
You were correct, sir.
So a sweeper is more of a well, it depends if you're a lefty, righty. So for a righty, it's a right to left, but it moves.
Okay.
It's
like that
completely
much.
different. And then the curveball is from 12-6.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
Pretty self-explanatory. It's straight up, straight down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweeper just is a lot more. It's just the same thing, just the opposite side.
Right.
Now, these last 2 pitchers for the Brooks Bombers, they throw a lot of off speed. Look at the 67, 73. I don't think they've seen anything over 85.
I don't think so either.
And does that throw a batter off?
It's unfortunately it does. I remember
Okay.
when I was back in school, we would put our guys that did not throw hard at all against those big SEC schools like OU, A&M, and man, did it throw them off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it catches them off guard.
Okay. Well, there's a fly out to center field by Matty Fung. And we have a bird in the booth.
We have a bird in the booth, yeah, for
And
another
it is not
time
just any
visiting.
bird. It's Sully the Gully
Sully.
right here.
Sully's got a ribbon on. What's the Sully got going on here?
Oh, what do we got?
Innisfil Rotary Rodeo Parade.
the
That's
Danes
right.
Ranch.
Sully came 3rd in a parade in Innisfil.
Wow, look
Just
at you
the
go.
just was it this weekend? Was it today? It was today. Well, there you go. So great to have
Okay.
you, Sully. Congratulations on 3rd place.
So now this explains something.
I'll
and
get a
I'm
fist
not gonna
bump in
I'm
there.
not blaming Sully for anything here.
That's it.
Every year that I've been in Central Alberta, and it's been a long time, the Danes Rodeo Ranch, there's horrible weather at least one of the 3 days. Well, we had that last night.
Yes,
So
we
that explains everything, Sully. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything. You were just there being you in the parade. So good job, man. Appreciate that. He's a terrible interview.
Yeah, he doesn't talk much, does he?
But he's a bird.
Yeah,
What
he
am
is a
I going to
bird.
do, you know?
He can squawk every now and then, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for joining us, Sully.
Bye,
Have a great
Sully.
rest of your night, Sully.
I'd like to say Sully laid an egg in that interview, but I think Sully's a male.
Oh
so
boy. Oh boy.
Oh,
I didn't look.
I didn't look.
I
Either.
didn't
Did
check.
you look?
I didn't look.
I didn't look. That's
None of my business.
Okay, we got to remember this is not an R-rated show.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll just leave it at that. So when you look around and you see this environment, and I mean, you've experienced last night. What did you think of last night in the weather? Like, how bad was that for you, the boy from Texas?
I'm not gonna. I mean, we see that a lot. I mean, you are lucky. I get these little baby hells. In Texas, we get baseball-sized hells,
yeah.
and it's tearing your cars up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can get that here in Alberta as
Really?
well. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But it just depends on the storm that comes
Yeah,
through. And
like
last night was luckily not that big.
Yeah, like I said, I think Texas and Alberta are the closest, like storm-wise, it looked just about like it is back at home.
Okay, yep.
Storm-wise, yeah, but man, it did not stop here. It just kept coming.
Well, we got a new pitcher on the mound, and that is your teammate, Hunter Jones, who also likes to be up here in the broadcast booth, joined us just a few nights ago, and he's going to come in to close this one out by the looks of it here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Gulls lead at 7-1, and Hunter Jones, he's got a personality on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And mom and dad are probably listening. No, they're probably watching the Oilers game because they're up in
game's
Edmonton.
over, so they might be watching now.
They might be watching now.
They might be a little sad about what happened earlier.
I'm
in
sure
that
they
game,
are.
But yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy to see that their boys on the mound and with a 7-1 lead in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And I know that if you're Hunter Jones, he's going to be wanting to redeem himself from back on Sunday afternoon. I hate bringing it up, but he ran into some issues in Oyen against the Lethbridge Bulls that kind of ate him up a little bit. But he was the first to admit that, yeah, it wasn't his best stuff, and he'll bounce back. He always does.
Here we go. He paints the outside corner. 2-1 the count on Liam Kirsch, the designated hitter. Seth Recker, I should say, and then Kai Hoffel are the next two batters to face Hunter Jones, who takes over from Ben Bowman, who had a strong outing, and then Matthew McKenzie, I think right now, has shown that he's got something going with his arm, does he not? Like,
Yeah, he does.
you like what you saw?
Oh,
as
I
you
like what I
mentioned,
saw.
So.
Yeah, that kid's good. Even Hunter's he should do what he does best. The kid's good.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, he's like a McKenzie also. And like Ben, it's the big three. Honestly, those guys are good. They're really stuck to themselves. They're really especially only for game days, they're really to themselves. Really try to really lock in. And Hunter is one of them guys. He's locked in. He knows when he has to take care of business and is ready to go when his number's called.
What's your style of pitching? We can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, I'm a little bit of both. It depends. If I'm a closer, then you're gonna get everything you have from me. I'm gonna give you. I'm a little. I mean, I get a little wild up. Honestly.
Yeah, we heard you're a wild guy. On the
yeah,
mound,
I get.
So what does that mean? Emotionally wild?
I get when I do something good. My team, I'm make sure everyone hears it.
Okay.
Especially if I struck out the side.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's gonna hype us up.
You're a vocal guy?
I'm a vocal guy. I'm gonna be more, but if I'm starting, it's gonna be more subtle, more relaxed, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want the universe to work against me now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna let my team celebrate for me.
You're a karma believer then.
Yeah. And I think I got it from my school. Honestly, our coach, he would always tell us, like, let your brothers celebrate for you. Don't let the universe work against you.
Okay.
He would always tell us, keep the main thing the main thing. I think I was around him too much. So that's what he would tell us every single day, and it stuck with me.
All right. Now I've got to get some information from you because we just kind of casually talked last night, and Snyder, Texas. Describe Snyder, Texas to our listeners.
Snyder, Texas. Well, we're a farm town for sure. We're in the middle of nowhere in West Texas. I mean, we have no green compared to Sylvan. I mean, it's literally the wild, wild west up there. That's what they call it, West Texas. I mean, it's a small town. I think we're about 10,000 people population. But where I live and where I'm like raised from, it's called a town called Iro, Texas. And that population's about maybe 100 people.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
But it's like from Sylvan to Red Deer. It's 10 minutes away, not too far.
Yeah.
So I lived in Iro. I live on a ranch. It's just outside of Snyder, and I went to school in Snyder, Texas.
So when you're ranching in a climate like that, what does that do for farmers? I mean, you guys don't get a lot of rain.
We do not. So we have to water. We have to water our stuff.
Yeah, and so lots of wells in Snyder, Texas.
There is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So like where I live, we live. Oh, here we go.
One.
Almost
Just
had it.
about two.
Yeah. So we run off well water back home.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have some pretty decent-sized wells for that.
You have to,
yeah.
and it's been around for a long time.
Okay.
It's not ran out of water, so.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good news for how dry it is. I mean, you're kind of that's what farmers rely on on an everyday basis.
So, what would be the most recognizable city that you are close to? And when I say close, I mean it could be an hour drive, 2 hour drive, even 3 hour
I hate
drive.
to say it,
oh,
but
you gotta say it anyway.
because
you're
to all my Texas fans, I'm a Longhorn fan, but our closest town is Lubbock, Texas, the Red
Lubbock.
Raiders. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think one of our fellow Gulls plays for the Red Raiders. Oh, Tyler Boudreaux.
Oh,
Okay.
that guy.
Yeah, that dude was
I think we
legit.
know that guy.
Yeah, yeah, I think you do.
I think we might know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard of him.
Yeah.
His parents, by the way, Tyler Boudreaux's parents, so they used to live in Calgary. When Ty Boudreaux came to Sylvan Lake to play for the Gulls, his parents decided to buy in Sylvan Lake and permanently live here. And now they're permanent season ticket holders
That's
to
pretty
all the
cool.
Gulls games, even though their son no longer plays
No,
here in Sylvan Lake.
That
so.
guy is legit for sure. I played against him when I was at College, and he played for Midland.
Okay.
I mean, that guy was legit. And when I got to see him last year, he probably doesn't really remember me, but I mean, that dude was good.
Okay. Well,
I gave it to him, and they gave me.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, they gave me his number. So I have some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I mean, I'm gonna try my best, but the dude's good.
I-
Dude's a good, and he seems like a cool soul too.
I can believe that you're going to try your best.
No. Yeah, I realized it yesterday that they gave me his number. I was like, oh, that was his number. Okay.
What are you doing? Now, you
Great.
mentioned two names that some people might be familiar with if they've ever watched the movie or read the book or seen the TV series Friday Night Lights. You said Odessa and you said Midland.
Yep.
Both are the Permian Panthers. Did you ever go to any of their games?
So my family lives in Midland. I went to Midland Lee 1 year. So it was the Permian Panthers rivals. Honestly, Midland Lee is their rivals.
Okay.
But my stepdad, he went to Permian, and my step siblings go to Permian. So I got to go to a good amount of games. I got to play their football.
Mm-hmm.
I was a quarterback and back in high school, so like I would play against them. But yeah, it's a good atmosphere for sure.
You look more like a linebacker.
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
I played linebacker, but
Okay.
But I had a good arm on me, so I was
That
the
makes sense.
quarterback.
Yeah,
so.
makes sense.
Well, this is grounded
there we
right
go.
back to Hunter, and he's just going to flip it over to first base, and that gets him out of the inning. Some good defense by the Gulls. Limit things for the Brooks Bombers. We are through 8 complete here at Gulls Field at Pegattle Park. 7-1, Sylvan Lake leads it, and the Gulls will come to bat on the top half of the ninth.
Yes, I think it's safe to say that.
It happens so on the fly, right?
Oh look, my Bill parents saw it.
Oh, nice.
There's like, oh, you gave us a shot.
Oh, that's sweet, man.
That's cool. No, I love those people. I really hated that. Like, as much, like, I really.
Same guy, 89. Thank you.
All right, we are back here in the top of the ninth inning. The Sylvan Lake Gulls with a 9-1 lead. First pitch swinging is Trip Ray. And that is easily caught by the right fielder, Ben Fischel, for the first out. Okay, now I can't remember if it was you or somebody else that was looking at our catcher, Trip Ray, and said, I want to throw to him. He's a huge target. Does that make a difference from a pitcher's perspective, having a catcher that size?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, he's a big dude, so he's a bigger target for sure. I mean, but end of the day, you're throwing to a mitt, you know?
Yeah.
That's your target. I mean, but it does help out if you got a big body back there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Were you surprised at his speed around the bases when he hit the double?
No, I'm not surprised.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Big man can run.
big man can run. Oh, let's see what they do here. Fair ball.
And Rowan O'Connor's going to beat
Safe.
that out. Good call by who's coaching first there.
Who is it?
I'm not sure, but he called it safe before the umpire called it safe. I like that. Who is that?
I don't know.
I can't see.
Can't tell. No.
Can't tell. Anyways, that was a good hustle by Rowan O'Connor.
Oh, that's Bobby.
Oh, that's Bob.
That's Bobby.
Bob.
Bobby.
Okay.
That's
So
Bobby.
we got to let the fans in on the on the joke here, and I'm trying to find blah 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 blah. His last name it's Noah Bourgeois, right? Noah Bourgeois.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you get Bob out of that for a nickname?
I don't know. That's just everyone just calls him Bobby.
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 Just random.
Bob's
Super
your
random.
uncle.
Hunter Jones even said that. Super random, just Bob. It's Bob.
Yeah.
And Bourgeois was pitching in that game, and yeah, every time he would make a throw, Hunter Jones would say, "It's Bob. Bob again.
Bob.
Bob with a good strikeout."
Okay.
Nah, Bobby's a good dude. He's a funny man.
Is he?
Oh, yeah, he's cool.
Okay.
He's a cool cat.
Cool
All
cat.
right. All right. Now, we talk a lot about how a team can gel. And then last year we got spoiled by watching this Gulls team, the previous version of them, almost immediately come together. You guys have got, it was a little slower getting to that point, but watching everybody in the dressing room during the weather delay last night, it looks like you guys are a really tight-knit
Oh, you
bunch.
should
And I
have
know
seen
it's an overused cliche,
Yeah.
but
You should have seen us today.
Oh,
When
okay.
it was raining, we were going to do BP. I mean, we're in the locker room. We're playing cards. We're playing hacky sack. I mean, we're pretty connected as a team. I think that's our biggest thing is that we got along really fast. There's no guys on the team where you're like, oh no, we don't like this guy. Like everyone's pretty connected. Like I think I try my best to. I'll try to be the glue of the team.
Okay.
And try to really get everyone together and like just. I'm the funny guy, you know. But when I'm pitching, I'm the crazy guy.
You're the crazy
When I'm
guy.
pitching, when I'm with the guys, I try to be the guy that keeps everything going pretty good, you know. Oh, it's
Well,
Flores.
here's
up
your
the bat.
pal, Jane Flores, stepping into the batter's box, and he drills it to the third baseman. And they're going to make the throw to second, try to turn the double play, but they won't be able to. So runners will be on the corner, 2 away. Flores with the fielder's choice. Getting on base.
okay. So you're the funny guy. Who's the most serious guy out there?
Oh wow. I mean, I would say I'm funny guy for sure, but it's me and Cam. There's another guy, Cam Diaz.
McLeod? Okay.
Me and
Oh, Cam Diaz.
Diaz.
Okay.
We're the guys that keep it pretty funny, but most serious. Oh goodness, who would be the most serious?
Oh, you got. I think I know the answer, but I've only got it in my own head because he has a quirky
serious.
sense of humor. That would be Josh
Yeah, I
Tucker.
was just going to say
John-
number 30, Josh Tucker. He's
yeah.
kind of he's a quieter guy, but I heard he's quite funny because when he says something, it's humorous.
It's stinger.
It's a stinger, yeah.
Yeah,
it just
he's
comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he
He
could
is
be
funny.
known as one of the funnier guys and also the more serious guys at the
Yeah.
same time.
Uh-oh, there we go.
There's a base hit there. Bryce Turner knocks in run number 8 for the Sylvan Lake Gulls as Rowan O'Connor, who showed his hustle and beat out that infield hit there in his at bat, comes around and scores, and the RBI for Bryce Turner.
This guy's pretty serious. The one that just scored. Number
Rowan
number
O'Connor.
16.
Rowan O'Connor, okay.
Really?
He's pretty serious.
Yeah,
I mean, you're around him, he seems he's a good dude. But
there you go.
but honestly, when we're on the field, I mean,
Okay.
he takes it pretty serious. I mean, there's a couple guys that take it pretty serious. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, if you remember, though, remember his home run? And he had the, 50-foot in the air bat flip?
I mean, like I said,
That was cool.
that was pretty cool.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, absolutely.
That was Bautista.
Yeah.
Wing! There he goes.
Even Brock right here, this guy, he's
Yeah.
pretty serious.
Yeah.
He's really he's serious. If I had to pick, it'll probably be Brock because he's really good.
Okay.
Drops that in for another base hit, and they're going to go.
He really trains pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, Brock.
Okay. Now he's going to be angry with us now because he's got 4 RBIs tonight.
He's got 4 RBIs,
and he's not going to be our player of the game, mind you.
Well,
Can't you get 2
you
guys?
just gave it away.
He didn't.
could have been.
He didn't. He didn't blow it. He didn't know that Matthew McKenzie was going to come out and do what he did.
That's true. That's
So
true.
we had to. He wouldn't get in that position if Matthew McKenzie didn't pitch like he pitched. So it's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
I'm backing myself up. Nobody's backing me up. So I'm on my own. Okay.
Well, you gave away the player of the game. Well, I guess people know now at home who to expect.
Well,
but, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
He was just kidding. He doesn't know. He really doesn't know who the player of the game is. We were just throwing someone out there.
Yeah, we're just throwing.
Yeah, we're just throwing
things in there.
Probably is McKenzie, but
Yeah, that one's another hit. That might be shallow center left, but that will be gobbled up.
No, that guy's
by
pretty
Peyton
fast at center
Matthews,
field.
Returning.
He is.
I played with him last year.
That's
Yeah,
right. You did
Peyton
too.
Matthews.
Returning player for the Bombers. So just like that, the Sylvan Lake Gulls will have a 9-1 lead heading into the bottom half of the 9th inning. We want to thank Leroy Tavares for joining us in the broadcast booth. Leroy, thanks for joining us. Good luck tomorrow with coming in relief, and join us anytime. You're always welcome.
I appreciate it. It was very grateful. Thank you for having me out here.
Leroy
You
Tavares,
betcha.
ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the bottom half.
Here's the other half of our faux broadcast group. We had Ben Bowman up, and now we've got Kai Rempel, who was on the other side of the microphone with Ben Bowman during the weather exhibit that we had.
Love to see it. Yeah, guys that go from the broadcast booth right down to the field.
There
Both
you go.
guys pitching the very next day. They had some good commentary, I must say.
I haven't heard any of it, but Calvin says it was pretty good.
I was overhearing a lot of it.
And a good throw there by the shortstop.
Oh, they got to get him here.
Bryce Hampton, and they got him.
No, they didn't tag him. Missed the tag, maybe. So good play there by number 5, J.R. Bedford, as he dives around the tag. As we get a quick look here, Hearthstone replay, and the throw comes back, and he did tag him.
Oh, yeah.
But the umpire must not have seen the tag.
Okay, well.
We know now. In real time, I can totally see how
absolutely.
it looks like, J.R. Bedford really dodged the tag. But
Well, and that's the old, hey, you turn to the right after you get past first base unless that ball's in the outfield, way in the outfield.
so I think they gave the Gulls an error on that play.
On the throw, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here we are in the bottom half of the 9th inning. 9-1 Gulls lead it. Kai Rempel is on the mound for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. He is the 4th pitcher of the night for Sylvan Lake, as guys are getting some work on their arms tonight, and I'm sure they appreciate it. And Kai comes in at 91. And this is a young man that we have seen go from spot duty, I guess, to more of an anchor in the bullpen as somebody that you can rely on and somebody you can put in as a starter. You can put him in mid, and you can put him right now.
I mean, it's just crazy to see the growth of Kai Rempel over the last couple of years here in Sylvan Lake. He was just a young kid that, maybe would see a little bit of action in the middle of a game, and then last year really blew up to being just a solid pitcher for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And then you look at him this year, and like you said, he's the anchor now. He's the guy that they're looking to close out games, and I'm sure he will be one of the main anchors for especially those big-time games late in the season.
Well, he's going to get some experience. He's on a pitch inning limit from his coach down south. So he's not sure exactly how much work he's going to do, but it could be, as you mentioned, timely work as opposed to, right now he's stretching out.
Yeah.
You got an 8-run lead. Go out and work on some stuff and see what you got. I'll keep an eye on J.R. Bedford because he's getting some little antsy feet over there over at first base. So I'm imagining they put the error on Bryce Hampton for the throw. 3 errors on the night for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, but it hasn't done the damage that it has in the past.
Yeah.
This season, where it's turned around, those 3 errors turned into 3 or 4 runs against the Gulls. And usually in the first 2 or 3 innings, and all of a sudden they're down, they're playing from behind. This playing from in front is probably a little more to their appetite, I would think.
Absolutely, and we've had ourselves pointed out, we've had our guy in the truck point out, that's a strikeout on Peyton Matthews. We had Calvin pointed out as well, is that, something about batting first too for the Sylvan Lake Gulls team that they seem to really like and enjoy here at Gulls Field. And just maybe it's that opportunity to score first to kind of get ahead early in the ball game.
Now this is a guy, Kai Rempel, that has a sense of humor. He is a funny man. He is a funny man.
Yeah, he sure is.
So, but there's all sorts of characters on this team, and they have different versions. Leroy was definitely one of them. You know what? I want to see him come in and close the game because he's got that closer mentality, and he's just going to be, hyper.
Well, and he wasn't hiding that fact that he is a loud guy on the mound. So yeah, it would be fun to kind of watch him, have that energy, that electric energy that he brings to the game, and I'm really excited to see him pitch here at Gulls Field this year for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
2-0 the count here on Ben Fischel, the right fielder. Maybe not, though. I see a different number on the back of this young man. Is it 24?
Yeah, 24
okay,
pinch hitter.
It still is.
It is him. Okay.
It still is Ben Fischel.
Yeah.
He hasn't changed.
Tappan, New York.
There we go. He got a single and a walk in his last 2 at-bats. So Kai Rempel on the mound to try and close things out here. A 9-1 lead, base runner over at first in J.R. Bedford. And Rempel steps off the rubber and will reset as he's got a 2-1 count here on Fischel. Gulls looking to go 2 games over the 500 mark, I believe. Would that put him at 8-6, I think?
Put him at 7-6. Seeing as yesterday, or actually I could be wrong there. Just give me 1 second here. It would put them at 8-6. My apologies. I forgot to add the Thursday night win. That put them above 500. That put them at 7-6.
There you go.
So yeah, 8-6 will be the record if they hold on. And that would tie them for second place in the West Division.
Oh, and Trip Ray he was ready to throw that one down to second, but it's a ball anyway, so he just held on to it. And a walk given up by Kai Rempel. So base runners on first and second. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Wyatt Ormond, who had a single or a double last time up. Drove in the first run, the only run for the Brooks Bombers tonight. And he is stepping in to face Kai Rempel, trailing by 8. Rempel catches that outside corner with an off-speed pitch for Ormond. He's asking home plate umpire Matt Payne, was that down low? Yep, okay.
Okay, so we did get a tweet here, and I'll
Uh-oh.
mention it to you. Oh, it's all good. It's good stuff here. We want to thank our fans again for tweeting us in some information, but we got a tweet in here from Tom Ray giving us some insight that Tripp's legal name is Thomas Ray III. Tripp is a nickname we gave him at birth. He's always gone by it. The association is Tripp beats triple beats the third.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, well, thank you, Tom. And I guess yeah, nothing to do with hospital visits or
Yeah.
losing your
We
footing.
weren't even
or
close,
anything.
I guess. Yeah.
We weren't even close.
Making up our own
so.
stories over here. But no, thank you, Tom. Appreciate you reaching out to us and giving us a little insight on Tripp Ray.
Okay. Thomas. The third.
Thomas Ray III.
Thomas Ray the third. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, anytime you have numbers after your name, you have an air of elegance about you, I think. In my humble opinion. That's fouled. Ripped out there by Wyatt Ormond, but no harm, no foul there. 1-2 the count on Wyatt Ormond. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love it when people get involved in that way and give us some insight, because we know that these guys are more than just baseball players. They're persons and they're personalities. And we like hearing that side of them as well, that they do have a life outside of baseball. Like you know, Leroy. You know,
Rodeo guy, rancher.
Rodeo guy, rancher. I love it. Love his background story.
Team roper back in the day.
Yeah. And I know he said to me yesterday, he says, you know, Texas is an awful lot like Alberta and vice versa. And he's correct in some of those assumptions. I mean, between the oil and the cattle. The weather definitely is different.
Yeah, but
in both places.
definitely
but
different. But they also get the hail, and they get big hail accordingly.
and they get
to-
tornadoes too,
they
and
get
we do
tornadoes
too.
as well. So there's some similarities with the weather patterns.
Yeah,
Just we get a lot more moisture, obviously.
We do. And sometimes it's in the form of ice.
Yeah.
Full count, 3-2 pitch, misses down low. And that loads the bases now for the Brooks Bombers, as Kai Rempel's having a little bit of trouble, and he's going to get a visit from Matt Hape, the pitching coach, and is going to have a little chat with the young man from Calgary, and he knows what's going on. And between the three of them, those are three starting forwards for a basketball team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Matt, Tripp, and Kai.
Just some big boys.
Yeah, and he's, you know, I wish I could read lips. But maybe there's sometimes when I probably shouldn't. But it looks like he's talking about how he maybe is
Just
closing
his
off.
Just his,
And he's not coming through with the pitch or something
Rotation
along those
in
lines.
his body on how he's releasing, yeah.
I'm not a pitching coach, folks. I'm not a lip reader. I'm just kind of, just from his body language, he was kind of moving that shoulder in and saying, okay, maybe you got to, you know, it's kind of like golfers.
Yeah.
You know, you
always
open up
gotta
too
talk
much
about
and you pull away right.
Exactly, yeah.
Mhm. Well, you and me, we're lefties.
We are lefties, yeah.
If righties open up, they pull away
That was
left.
my problem today, to be honest with you.
Uh-oh.
I was showing some interesting rotation in my driving today.
Some interesting rotation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one down here with bases loaded, and this is the left fielder, Christian Altamirano, who is 1 for 3 on the night. He is the number 4 hitter, so he might have some pop in that bat. And Rempel is even at 1-1 on the count right now. With one down here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Gulls with 9 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors. The Brooks Bombers 1 run on 6 hits and 2 errors. The 1-1 pitch on its way and misses down low. 2-1 the count now on Altamirano. Liam Kirsch, the designated hitter, is the batter on deck for Brooks, as we're looking to close this out and move to 8-6 on the season are the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Yeah, Kai Rempel's just having a tough time right now finding the strike zone. He's just a little low. Gonna have to dial it in here. I don't think they want to have to warm up anybody in the bullpen.
No, I think this is going to be his.
They want him to close this one out.
His inning, so. And he gets the foul ball off the bat of Altamirano. The count is full now. So Rempel looking to bear down here and maybe get a double play to end the game.
I was just going to say a double play is in play right now, and
Yeah,
that could
any
be
base.
a huge way to end this ball game for, a team that has been pretty solid today for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Defensively, they've got themselves out of some ruts already tonight.
And there's one grounded foul as Rempel had Altamirano way out in front on that pitch. 92 miles per hour. So still count full. The Gulls not worried about the run at home, it looks like. They're not playing anywhere near inside to cut off the run at home. They're looking to play, I think it's double play depth is what they say. And this is out into left field. And Brock Tiarino is going to field it, but 2 more runs come in for the Brooks Bombers. So they're not done yet. And we wouldn't think they would be anyway.
That was a great 2 RBI single by Altamirano as he just puts that into an opposite field where there's a lot of room. And Brock Tiarino had to run away quite a ways to grab it. So that was a well-placed hit. And, the Brooks Bombers aren't going anywhere.
No, Liam Quiche will step in now, the designated hitter tonight. He was hit by a pitch and walked and grounded out twice, so he's 0 for 2 on the evening. So Kai Rempel trying to wrap things up here as he looks over the situation. There is nobody in the bullpen. So it's all on his arm right now to close this game out.
Yep.
1-1 the count on Kirsch with runners on first and second, 1 down. And that misses down low. And the count now 2-1. Here's the winning ticket on the 50-50 draw. I think it was up over $2,000.
Yeah, pretty good
the last time I saw.
50-50, yeah, absolutely.
And that misses down low, 3-1.
Oh, boy.
Kai Rempel is
Struggling.
getting close to loading the bases again here. Yeah, I'm not sure what the mindset is of a pitcher when they start missing like that and just can't seem to.
So I do see somebody going to the bullpen, whether they're going to loosen up. Yeah, they are. So they are sending somebody to the bullpen to loosen up here and get ready and warm up.
That looks like Mickey McClaskey.
That could be Mickey, yeah. So Kai Rempel loads the bases here. And not ideal for the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Now, Trip Ray is out there to have a little chat with his pitcher, and he's gonna waste some time here and allow Mickey McClaskey to get his arm a little bit loose. And he hasn't even got his shirt on, his jacket off yet. He hasn't thrown a warm-up pitch yet. So, Guy knows the situation. He knows what he's doing. So, well, maybe this isn't Mickey McClaskey. Oh, that's Noah.
Okay, yeah, number 43, Noah Zenkowish from Grand Prairie,
yeah.
Alberta. We haven't really seen him yet, have we?
No. So he's gonna warm up as quick as he possibly can, I guess, and come in for Kai Rempel at some point here, unless Kai gets himself out of this jam real quick here. But he just seems to be missing. I'm not sure by how much, but it's all down low.
Yeah. He's having a tough go right now.
So I don't know. Is that like I'm speculating? Was that a release point, something, or I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm pretending I know what I'm talking about. 1-1 the count now. Called strike there on Seth Recker, the shortstop or the third baseman, I should say, for the Brooks Bombers. They trail 9-3, but they've got something going here with bases loaded here in the bottom half of the 9th inning and 1 down. And taking all the way, and that's probably what they're saying on the bench, like just take it right now, just make them throw strikes.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Kai Rempel wants to do.
Make that strike zone, smaller for Kai Rempel.
And he's ahead of the batter for the first time here tonight, and the batters that he's faced so far, other than the guy that he struck out.
Yeah, that one missing low again, so now even the count at 2.
Yeah. So the fans are behind him.
Yep.
They're encouraging him to hang in there and get himself out of a jam. Bases loaded, 2-2 pitch here. And that's fouled out of play. So he's in the strike zone. That's a good sign.
Yep.
He'll work himself out of this. I have a good feeling.
Yeah, another good sign. Seth Recker hasn't had a whole lot of success tonight at the plate.
Matt Hape's running down to the bullpen to check in. See how Noah Zenkiewicz is doing, if he's close to being ready.
I would think if a base hit lands here or a walk happens, that Zenkiewicz would be coming in.
Yeah. 2-2 the count on Seth Recker. And I called third strike there as Kai Rempel nails the pitch there for the second out, and he gets the proper response from the crowd as they're happy with how their pitcher has come back and battled against Seth Recker there. Some foul balls, and then Kai stuck to his guns and got himself out of that jam.
Yeah, sigh of relief for Kai Rempel right now.
Yeah.
And now just one more out needed to be done, and he can do it himself if everything goes well.
This is Kai versus Kai.
Yeah.
And Rempel gets the advantage right off the bat on the catcher, Kai Hopful. We got Kai Hopful, Kai Rempel.
Kai's not a very common name either, so
No.
what are the odds this happens, eh?
There you go. So he's ahead and comes in with the 0-2 pitch now. 92 miles per hour. I think, to quote the movie, I think Stella has found her groove. And now the slow clap starts. Maybe a little too early.
It doesn't start very slow, I'll tell you that much.
They've picked up speed. The 0-2 pitch from Kai Rempel is grounded down to first base, and a good scoop there by Bryce Turner. And Kai Rempel is the first guy over there to say, hey, thanks, man. That's what we needed. So Rempel gets out of the jam. It was a little dicey, a little more exciting than he really wanted it to be, but he closes it out. 9-3. The Gulls take it over the Brooks Bombers, and they move to 8-6 on the year.
They moved to 8-6 on the year. They tie currently right now the Okotoks Dogs for that second place spot in the Western Division. Dogs and Energy City Cactus Rats were in a rain delay, so the Cactus Rats still have a 1-0 lead in the top half of the 7th inning. So we'll have to wait and see the result of that game to know where the Gulls will stand in the standings. But one thing is for sure, they will remain in third for sure in the Western Division, as it's all smiles and high fives in this 9-3 win over the Brooks Bombers. And we're just getting set to hand things over to our in-game host, Jared Waldo, with player of the game. But overall, just a really, really good game by the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the player of the game that Jim already mentioned a couple minutes ago.
It wasn't Leroy Tavares.
Yeah, there you go.
So there you go.
Let's hand it down to Jared Waldo. He's got player of the game standing by.
And eyes on home plate. Here's an interview with our player of the game and your game day host, Jared Waldo.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. Your EG Auctions player of the game tonight, starting pitcher Matthew McKenzie. Matt, that's a big one for you tonight. 5 innings, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. Just talk about how you were feeling out there.
Feeling pretty good. Just stay ahead, get ahead, attack with strikes, and let the defense do the work.
That's a big couple of games for you guys. Big game a couple of nights ago. Bats working that night, working again tonight. Pitching's coming around. Are these the kind of games that you can really build on, especially as you now head out on the road?
Yeah, for sure. Too bad last night got canceled. But, we're on a roll now and go to Brooks tomorrow and head off to Sask next week. It'll be a good one.
The lovely plains of Saskatchewan.
About a week last summer.
Well, enjoy all of the beauty that the Prairies has to offer, and best of luck as you guys head out on the road.
Thank you.
Your player of the game, EG Auctions, Matthew McKenzie, tonight's starting pitcher.
Well, there you have it. The player of the game, Matthew McKenzie, the starting pitcher. He was calm and cool last night before the game started. That didn't start. It ended up being a canceled game. So they put him in tonight, and he just remains calm, cool, and collected. 6 strikeouts in 5 innings of work, and only giving up, just the 1 hit and 0 runs. So pretty impressive stuff from Matthew McKenzie, our first pitcher to get a player of the game this year.
Yeah, and very easily Brock Tiarino could have been player of the game.
Yes.
But Brock, 4 RBIs, you cannot ignore that. But Matthew McKenzie, when we've seen the team struggle a little bit on the pitching side, and the hitting has come around, like you pointed out.
Yeah.
But on the pitching side, they needed something like that, and I think the rest of the guys might feed off of that.
Well, and not just only on the pitching side, but defensively, too. When they did get in a little bit of a jam a couple times against this Brooks Bombers team, they did face loaded bases a few times, and they managed to escape an inning without giving up any runs. So, when you got that help behind the pitcher as well, that's got to give the confidence for the mound, guys coming to the mound. So, overall, pretty good game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. They'll do it all over again tomorrow afternoon when they take on the Bombers in a 2 o'clock game with, as we mentioned, Veselinovic and our very own Leroy Tavares will be getting some mound action tomorrow down in Brooks. But here tonight, pitching was on fire, and so were the bats. The crowd was loving it, and the Snapman race, I could have ended a little bit better for that guy maybe. But overall, that sinker was really working well, and we got to see a little bit of dances. We got to see Sully the goalie. Everybody was having fun here at Gulls Field as Tavares. We want to thank Leroy Tavares for joining us once again with the great shout-outs. For Jim Claggett, I'm K.O. Clark, and the whole organization at the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the broadcast crew. It's been a pleasure having you tune in with another Bird's Eye View. We'll see you next time.